And spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Royal Blood. It is the Red Protoss. You may not recognize that name, but I promise you, it's nice. Representing the, is it Starlight Twinkle? SLT, Starlight Twinkle. And of course, his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, we've seen him dismantle a couple of Terrans. See how he deals with a kind of a wacky Protoss player. It is Onside Gaming's Solar. Getting his hatch block. The good old hatch block coming out of nice. But yes, Poisty, I've been hiking a lot. The hiking in around Seattle is actually just incredible. The amount of places that are within like a 3-hour drive that you can hike from Seattle it's insane. So been going not quite every week, but maybe like 3 times a month on average, 2 to 3 times a month. Been going on hikes. Some of them are better than others, but I mean, some of them are insane. I posted some pictures the other day on Instagram with my one of my more recent hikes. We went to Mount Baker area, and the place we were at, you could see Mount Baker. It was just insanely beautiful. And a little bit before that, I actually went to Mount St. Helens. I do want to post those pictures as well. Got some good ones of Mount St. Helens. And you have Rainier, and there's the Olympic Peninsula. There's so much hiking around here. And during the summer, I think I'm going to be doing pretty much every week in the summer if I can. The hard thing is it is a little expensive, like renting a car every time to go. It's not like super crazy, but definitely costs some money. A 100 kilometers? What? That's too many kilometers. That's so many kilometers. I'm doing one this summer that's gonna be like 20 miles. I think it's 22 miles. That's gonna be very difficult for me. For me, like 10 miles, pretty solid. Any more than that, it starts to get really tough. It depends on the hike too. Some of them they could be 6 miles, but they're super hard. But in general, if I look at 10 miles for the summer, I'm like, that's cool. I try to do a 10-mile one in the winter, and going 10 miles in snowshoes is such a different experience. So much more difficult. Anyways, right now, Nice is trying to climb the mountain that is playing against Solar. And Solar actually killing that probe, stopping this third base from going down. Going to catch the Adept as well, and we'll get that for working on this Stalker a little bit. I don't think he can get through this, but maybe he can. And the probe's going to help out. Stalker takes some hit point damage, but looks like the third base will go down just a little bit later than Nice wanted it to. And it is Void Ray first from Nice into an Oracle, which of course the Overlord will spot, but the Void Ray is kind of interesting. Twilight Council Forge follow-up, not too surprising here. We'll see what Nice ends up doing with it, but I'm imagining it's going to be a Blink +1 follow-up. Could be something crazy like Charge, though. That is certainly a possibility. Lings decide to dive in and try to get on top of this third base, but they think better of it and run away. So we're getting into Roaches and the Lair. Expecting the ground follow-up, which is exactly what we'll see. 3 more gates going down. I am waiting with bated breath to see what upgrade it's going to be for Nice. I feel like Blink makes the most sense, but yeah, it is going to be Charge. You know, I had this feeling that it was going to be a Charge build. I feel like I've been seeing that a little bit more lately. but I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess Zerg players have just gotten used to Blink. Protoss players are looking for something new. Can we charge into the Quick Templar Archives? I imagine that's for actual Storm, not just Archons. But nice, good decide to go for a big 2-base push and just go with Archon charge lot instead of getting into Storm. Roach is generally pretty good at dealing with charge lots, though. I think that's going to be a strong tech choice for Solar. You actually see the first Archon being morphed already. Storm not starting up. There's a Prism on the way. All right, Nice is going for it. Oh, yeah, 4 more gates. He's really going for it. Drop something. Very quiet while I pick it up. This Oracle's somehow still alive. But Solar's just got to make non-stop units right now, and I think he has recognized this. He's got quite a few Roaches out. 4 Overlords on the way because he's actually a little supply blocked at the moment. Worker count is actually dead even. Nice has the ability to warp in a lot of Zealots if he wants to, but he's going to just take the 4th. I'm a little surprised by that. I actually fully expected Nice to commit to that. But he's just warping in back at home. It's just a double Archon drop for now. Yeah, Senju, actually, if you could send those to me, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. I try to get as many replays as I can. There's always a few series I miss, but yeah, I very much appreciate players sending me in replays. If you did have a caster, usually you don't have to worry about it. But if you just send them to me, that'd be great. I usually bug all the casters afterwards, and then I only have to bug a few players. Solar's going to go for an attack here. Nice has quite a few Archons on top of the ramp. He's going to go for some fancy Archon micro. Dodges those Biles really nicely. He's got a shield battery. He's going to turn the overcharge on. One of the Archons does go down. Solar's going to dive forward. He wants to bile down the shield battery. He gets it. Nice doesn't seem to quite have enough. He's got a couple of Immortals here holding their own, getting picked up. More shield batteries behind this, but the Roaches are starting to push through, and there are more Roaches as well as Lings behind this as well. And Solar, I think he might just have an overwhelming force. He pushed with the Queens as well, broke down the rocks. And Nice seems to be crumbling before the Roaches. Look at that supply, 150 to 80. Solar is just too much Zerg. And Nice is forced to tap out of game number 1. Yeah, I do. So here's one thing about the charge choice there, is that it felt like Nice got charge because you're supposed to have charge. And I distinctly remember, okay, day 9, a millennia ago, telling us not to get an upgrade unless you are planning to use that upgrade. Like right then. You get the upgrade when you need the upgrade. If you're going to get stim, you better plan to stim once it's done. Because otherwise, you're just spending money on things that you don't need. Sometimes you might need something defensively. Sometimes you get one upgrade so you can get the other one, and that's when you attack. Those are kind of exceptions to this. But if you get charge, and then when charge finishes, you have no Zealots, and you're not warping in Zealots, or maybe you had a couple at home, but they're just chilling like Nice's were. You just spent 100 on something that you're not using earlier than you needed to. So I always look for those little things in certain builds. Was this used? And it may seem small, but that's an earlier 4th base. That's maybe getting those Archons out there a little bit quicker. Something like that. Usually if the game isn't cast, it doesn't get included in the replay pack because players don't submit them. That happens a lot, Thorn. unfortunately. I do bug players for replays. So I usually get most of the replays, but sometimes there's players that don't get back to me, or players that don't have contact info for, that I don't end up getting games from. There was a few matches last week that I didn't get anything from. It's definitely easier if it's been cast, because the casters cover like a ton of games all together, and that's also why we try to split off everywhere. So it makes it a lot easier if the casters send me their matches. In any case, we're casting this one. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the red Protoss player, representing Starlight Twinkle. It's nice. And is spawned in the upper left-hand corner for Onside Gaming. It's the blue Zerg. Solar. Up 1-0 and doesn't get hatch blocked this time. Generally, the most interesting ones are usually cast by the casters anyways. That is true, generally speaking. But yeah, some of them do slip by. It was a good match last week that I think it was last week. I feel like I never got the replay for, not like the best match in the world, but an interesting sounding one. And I was sad because I was not able to send them out, and nobody was able to watch them. I still don't have them. Too bad. Should make them pinky swear. Yeah. The hard thing is like time zones and stuff too. There's been a couple times where actually Han Mono last week had a match that I asked him for replays for, and he was like, I'm moving. My computer's packed up. He's like on his phone. I was like, oh, never mind then. Because I asked him like 2 hours after the tournament. He's like, I already packed up. I'm already out of here. And I messaged somebody else, and they were like at work. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm at work. I'll send them later. It's like, okay. I was just thinking about that today, Arconic. I think Day 9 will very likely do quite a bit of Stormgate content. I mean, I'd be pretty shocked if he doesn't, honestly. Of course, the big thing is that his mom works at Frost Giant. So, like, I feel like it'd be rude. You gotta do content about the game your mom helped make, right? But also, Day 9 not doing content for the spiritual successor of StarCraft 2, I feel like would just surprise me in general. I'm sure he'll do content. How much? I think it'll be up to how much he enjoys the game. You can't really tell, right? If he enjoys making content for it, I think he'll do a bunch. If he just wants to play it casually and just enjoy that aspect of it, then he'll probably just do that. But we'll probably see him. I would imagine we'll see him making some content about it and doing some casting and things like that. I hope so. I was just thinking about it today. I feel like we're going to see a lot of content creators from different games playing Stormgate. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like, not just the StarCraft 2 creators, but, you know, get the other RTS players in there, but even more than that, like MOBA players, people who used to play StarCraft and now play other things. Get them all in. I'd love to see some Dota or League players in there too. I think there's a high possibility of it. Oof. Adepts get caught and cornered. They do get a couple of drone kills to make it a little bit more worth it, but nice losing those very early. A little bit painful. I feel like usually you don't want to lose those first two Adepts. They really do help defend this third base. Experiencing a little bit of lag here. It's just that stuttering. I hope that is not affecting the players at all. Usually those little stutters don't affect the players. I haven't had the issue in a while, but there used to be an issue connecting to the Korea server where you'd get like these really annoying jitters sometimes. with the ping. Man, Apoptosis is going to Frost Giant, and I'm so jealous. I want to go play the, like, alpha they got going on right now. I want to go play it. I'm so jealous. Neuro got to play it. Trisha got to play it. Now Apop's going to get to play it. All my friends get to play the Stormgate alpha, but I don't. It's not fair. I'm jealous. I'm green with envy. All right, what's going on in this game? This game, we do have Blink out of Nice. He's got the Forge following up here. I like the Blink play a little bit better maybe than the Charge Archon play. Archon drops, man. I can't believe we saw an Archon drop last game. That's such an old school build. Solar getting into a lair. The Baneling Nest is certainly an interesting choice. It's going to cancel the Roach Warren. That's an even more interesting choice. Actually, isn't that Roach Warren a fake this whole time? He's got +1 melee on the way. Alright, never mind. He just spotted, I guess, that the... Oh, maybe he never spotted the Roach Warren. I guess it doesn't matter. In any case, Solar's going for Ling Bane. He's got +1 on the way. Blink is done, so the Stalkers are going to come in. It's literally just 5, though. So I feel like they're not going to be too much of a threat. So they kind of just leave. All right, good night, Senju. Thanks for staying up. Thanks for playing tonight. It's cool to see people play who aren't pro gamers, because that's my favorite part about open tournaments, is anybody can just show up and play. You hit some pro players. It's one of the things that I feel like we don't see quite as much usually in the Korea-based tournaments, and that's why a lot of the player pools are often smaller. You don't see a lot of like fully amateur players signing up. There was one Korea qualifier I remember for like a DreamHack where day 2 there was like 16 players already seeded into day 2. So day 1, most of the Korean players didn't even have to play. So there was a bunch of players that signed up and then immediately just got in. And there were a couple of games, and there was like a German amateur player ended up getting into the day 2, qualifying through Korea just because there was nobody to play. It was wild. Spawnmeister. Anyways, here to talk about this game a little bit. We've got Lings and Hydras actually trying to hold here for Solar. And for that Brood War style, no Banelings in sight just yet. Queen's trying to help out as well. Nice is just warping in Stalkers. Blink microing his heart out, but the Hydras do quite a bit of DPS to the Stalkers here. The Stalkers don't really want to take too much of a straight-up fight, but as more of them show up, a big blink forward from Nice. The Hydra's on top of the ramp. No, Nice does not have vision up there, and he's just kind of trading with the Lings. I feel like Solar might end up having too much DPS. More Lings show up, and yeah, Nice is just forced to tap out. He can't overwhelm that.